Hello everyone, it's Connie. I am just getting set up and ready to roll here. Kind of exciting to get started today. I have some fun projects. Woo woo! Oh, there I am. Look at that. Hello everyone. Ha! Ha ha! Okay, I'm live. Hello, it's 2 o'clock on Wednesday. It is Wednesday, is it? Not, I swear this week feels like it has been flying by, and I woke up this morning thinking it was Thursday. How screwed up is that? Anyway, today I'm doing Easter. It's a little hard to see with my crazy lights. Hold on just a sec here. All right. Turning my lights down a little and trying to get the glare off of everything. It's a challenge. It is a challenge. Okay, so today I'm using this paper. It is called Easter Joy. It is 12 by 12 paper, and you get 12 sheets of several different patterns that I'm going to show you. And it's very different. It's very unique compared to other papers from Stampin' Up. And here's the difference. Can you see the glistening shine on here? Hi, Denise. The glistening shine is a UV coating on the whole thing. So I showed this to Steve, and he's like, basically they run it through the machine to run all the different colors. And then they did a foiling technique. So if you look a certain way, you can see like some of the flowers are foiled. Sometimes you can see that in person, it's obvious, but on camera, it's a little harder to capture. And then they put like a clear coat over the whole thing, which is called a UV coating. They used to do this a lot. Back in the day for things like signs and stuff that would be in windows so that they wouldn't fade. And the UV coating has come a long way because it used to be really thick and it would crack and stuff if you bent it. This you can bend, but you can see it's kind of shiny. So the prints are this one, which is kind of a mixed floral and eggs kind of print. This one with the stripes there, you can see some of that foil, right? You can see like the green stripes, the copper stripes. Very cool. So this is my favorite. I wish I could get it in bulk. I would use it all day. I should probably use it today just to chop it up and get myself over the hoarding thing that I want to do with it. And then this print, if you look up close to it, it's got like a little design in each of the little plus signs, flowers, plus signs. I'm not sure what they are. It's a design. And then we have a daffodil print and an egg print, which is so cute. All of these are very busy, which means you need a solid with it. And then the last paper is this one. It's 12 by 12, and you get 2 sheets of each of these. But you can see each of these would make its own little vignette or journaling space or place for your photo or whatever on your scrapbook page. And on the back side, flipping over, everything is kind of muted and soft. It's not, it's just printed and it almost looks kind of flat. But it's great to have some of these softer prints with all those bold, crazy colors, right? I really like these like crumb cake, I think it's crumb cake prints. They're really, really nice. So, and then of course, have you guys noticed a lot of the papers come with this big, heavy duty, thick piece of cardboard? I bought a bunch of sticky magnet sheet and you just peel and stick. And then you can cut this down into pieces to put your dies on. And it's an inexpensive way to make your own die sheets, storage boards. So that's what I've been doing with them. I don't know what you guys been doing, just recycling probably. So today, I don't know what I'm going to use, but I pulled some. These are the 8.5 by 11 sheets, and I'm going to zoom out just a little more so that you can see better. And they're just basically cardstock bases, right? So 5.5 by 8.5. And I pulled, this is Shamrock, so you can see it goes with the paper. This is Balmy Blue. Again, it goes with the papers. This is Pretty in Pink. And this is Peach Pie. And then I also pulled some white because I wasn't sure what I wanted to use. Now, the green, the pink, and the peach are all in colors that are going to be going away when the new Big Bertha catalog comes out this spring-ish. Is it April, May, something like that? But when that comes out, those will be retired. So if you have a collection like this paper pack that has a lot of those colors in it, you might want to buy a pack of something that coordinates, right? I'm a little tired of using pink. I've been using a lot of pink for Valentine's, so I'm going to use up this peach, I think, today. It's pretty bold. I could use the Shamrock one. Anyway, I think that's what I'll do. Don't know. I'm gonna keep them here. I got out my ring to see like what colors really looked good. Of course, the list, you know, they always list all the colors that are in the set. So I pulled several of those. But like when I pulled Lemon Lolly, it's so light and pale looking. It didn't look right. Actually, in the yellow zones, I thought, actually, Darling Duckling looked better. I like the boldness of it. And Daffodil Delight looks nice with it. But I didn't... Lemon Lolly, yes, they used it in the paper pack. But it's a little, I don't know, neon next to these colors. So, you know, these color rings are super helpful to me. This color ring was made for me when I signed up by Heather. So thank you, Heather. I use it all the time. It's starting to get a little dinged up. But you can see there's a lot of colors that would go with it. And I've been considering making these rings for my customers now because I used to do that with Close to My Heart. How many of you use them? Leave it in the comments if you would use something like that. I use mine all the time. Okay, so if I use these, I really want to use this egg print. I think it's super cute. I want to make an Easter card. I kind of like this one too, though. Maybe I'll do this one. Yeah, I'll do that one. I'm just going to pull it out and put the rest of these away. I really only need one main print and maybe some cardstock that coordinates. I'm setting it aside in case I change my mind. Now the stamp set I'm using today is called Easter Basket, and I really like the stamps. I saw the dies and went, oh, now I need both because the dies are super cool. So you get this fun basket and it cuts slits in it, and then you use this to cut little strips, and those strips will slide into the basket. And so I'll show you that in just a second. And then of course 2 different bunnies, a chick, a bunny like this one, which I consider to be like a chocolate Easter bunny. Isn't it cute? The only, and these, cause I had to add a little extra because it has a lot of dies. It has this greenery piece, a floral, a couple of florals, a carrot, which I couldn't wait to use. Why? I don't know. I just love the carrot. And then I was kind of looking at the paper. Oh yeah, the paper I picked. This little tulip right here will cut out with the die, and so will some of the eggs, like the green egg. I'm not really, I would never chop a piece of paper up like this for like 2 things. I would rather just make my own, you know. I don't want to mess up the whole piece of paper. But I really do like this stamp set a lot. So I'm going to use it today to make a couple of different cards. And I'll show you the first card we're going to make is this one. So this is a box card. It's been years since I've made a box card, you guys. I think the last one I made that I showed online might have been my shark card. I made one that was a shark several years ago. I also made a Christmas card with Close to My Heart using this maybe, I don't know, maybe 6 years ago. Anyway, it's been a while. And the way it works is it folds up and it fits in a normal envelope, a normal A2 sized envelope. And then it pops and sits on the desk, and it's a little box. Do you see? So I put a little Easter basket on the front, and then you have these little inserts that you make that fit inside, and then you can tuck whatever you want onto the insert. So I liked the little bunny with the carrots, and I made him look like he was in a garden. I don't know whether he really looks like he's in a garden, but that's what I envisioned. And then I put the Easter basket on the front with the Happy Easter. Easter's on its way. So you can see this card. This card is not hard to make. It's just a lot of decorating. You need a lot of pieces to make this. And this would be a cool Valentine card with hearts popping out, or birthday with balloons or candles. Oh, that's what I should do. I should get out that cake day set and make one of these with candles coming out all over the place. That would be really fun. So let me show you what I did to get started. So which one should I use as my base? Now on this one, I used the peach pie as my base. So maybe this one I'll use the Shamrock as my base just to be different. So this is just half of an 8.5 by 11 sheet, right? So it's 5.5 by 8.5. Not too exciting. You need something to score with. And so let me get out my scoring tool. You'd think I'd be more put together. Okay, so you're going to set it horizontally on your scoreboard, and you're going to go 2, 4, 6, 8 across the thing, right? 2, 4, 6, 8. Did anybody else like go, who do we appreciate, right? I got that off a little notch, but that's okay. It'll all be good. And I like to flip it and do both sides when I'm using this heavier cardstock. I don't know. It just feels like it folds better if you've done a little work with that. Okay, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to turn it vertically, and you're going to just score it in half. And half of 5.5 is 2 3/4. And there's our scoring. I'm putting my scoreboard away now. So we're going to make a box, and you can kind of see how that is going to fold, fold, fold. You can see how that's going to wrap around, and then the back is going to have like a little tab, and it's going to go like this, right? We're going to make a box, but we need to trim some of it so that it works. And so for on one side or the other, you need to cut down the score lines to that center score like that. I think this would be such a fun birthday card. Now, here's the thing. Yes, we're going to make a box like this, but before you fold all of these sides down, let's trim this one off too. We're going to trim the top half of this little flap. It's in the way. There we go. So this is what you've got with all the cuts. That's it. It's just your standard card base. But don't fold all these down yet. What I want to tell you is that the back of the card, you want to keep it straight. So it's nice to have it stand up like this and not flop down like these sides. And this front one I glued down all together just because when it flopped open, it hid my bunny in because of this handle. So you know, I don't normally do that, but on this one, my decoration was so big, I glued the front flap down. But this one, we want it to be nice and straight and showing like on the back. So we can, you know, go ahead and glue this together. Let me find my glue. Sorry. I feel like everything is a little bit buried because I have been creating like crazy. I realized, I know it's not even Valentine's Day yet, but I realized if I don't get a move on these Easter cards, I will not finish them. And I would like to send a batch to JJ. Hi, Christy. Congratulations, Christy. Christy signed up as a demonstrator yesterday. It's very exciting. And new demonstrators get the new stamp positioner for free. So you get your kit, which is like, you pay $99 and get $125 worth of whatever you want free. And then you get that stamp positioner free, right? That's their incentive right now. Okay. So what you see is I'm just flipping this box around and creasing everything. And what that does is it helps that card to relax and fold in, so it'll fold up in the envelope like we want it to. And then I'm going to go ahead and fold down the front and the sides. And I'm going to leave that back part up. Now where I scored it weird right there, like I missed the score, I'll just cover it with paper. It will not be a big deal. I could have even made it the front and then it really would have been covered up, see, because I'm using this basket. So the next thing I need to do is decide how I want to decorate it, right? That's the hardest part. Before I decorate though, I want to show you how to make the inside pieces. Now this box measures 2 inches, right? So you need a 2-inch span, and then you need a couple of flaps on each side. So I just cut 3-inch strips, and it doesn't matter how deep they are. You can see in there, I cut my white ones are kind of closer to the bottom. You don't need them that close. See, I tucked everything in really close to the top. It's a little hard to see, but you don't need these pieces to be huge. You just need them to be 3 inches wide. So I'm going to chop 3 inches, and then I'm just going to cut it in half. We have a cat that is taunting Moose. We'll just say that. She's taunting Moose. She walks by. I think she is having kittens. She's very big right now. And she's a feral cat. And there's a lady across the street, a few houses down, that likes to catch these cats and get them fixed. But I think she missed one. Anyway, I think she's having kittens by our deck. That's what I think is happening. So what I'm doing here on this 3-inch piece is I'm leaving a 2-inch space here and a 1/2 inch there and a 1/2 inch there. So 1/2 inch and 2.5 on both of those little pieces. And that will give us our cross pieces to put on the inside of the box. Now you guys might think that's complicated to put in, but it's really, really not. And basically you could just do one and leave it just like that and just put one pop-up in there. But I like, of course, to make things as complicated as possible. And so I'm going to fold this back, and I'm going to put glue on these flaps. You could use tear tape or your tape runner, but what I found is that it is easier. It is really easy to get this to stick where you don't want it. And so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to put it in. I'm going to make it kind of close to the top on one side, and then I'm just going to fold the other side. Do you see what I'm doing there? This side close to the top, see, nice and even, and then this side, and I'm just going to hold it for a moment, and then when I open it, you'll see what I'm talking about. Do you see how that worked? So I basically got one side where I wanted it, and then I smashed my box flat, and the other piece just lines up. So let's do that one more time, because we have another one. We could do 3, but let's not get too carried away. I have a lot of stuff to decorate, but I want to make several cards. Okay, so I'm kind of folding them in a little bit so that they don't just grab. This one I want a little closer to the front, so I'm setting it up right there. And then you can see, I'm going to push that up just a little bit. And then I'm going to smash this flat, and it will be right across from it. So I'm just going to let that like attach for a moment. See? Ah, look at that. Isn't that cute? It's so cute. It's such a cute little box. And when it all folds up, it will fit into your envelope. No problemo. Isn't that great? I love it. Okay, so let's give that a moment to dry. And what we're going to do is we're going to cut some pattern papers for the back. Now, I like to make the back all one sheet because that way it sturdies this back end up, right? It makes it stiffer so that it's not going to fold over. But the cardstock that I'm using is the 8.5 by 11. It's all solid cardstock, and it's already pretty thick. And then when you add UV coated paper on top of it, it really does make it sturdy. But basically what I need, these are 2 inches wide. Everything on here is 2 inches wide. So I need a strip just a smidgen under 2. So I'm just gonna make it like 1 7/8. And I'm gonna do another one, 1 7/8. So I'm just gonna cut a couple of strips so I can use that. What's on the back? Oh, that's kind of nice too. So now I have strips that I can cut them to whatever length I need. I can decorate wherever I want to on here. I can do the top, I can do the bottom. I could flip it over and do the plaid. That's really nice. And the plaid really does go with that really nicely. So, all right. Now, this, if you remember, is half of a 5.5 inch card. So this is 2 7/8. 2 3/4. What's wrong with me? 2 3/4. So we're going to cut this just a smidge under, like a 1/16 under 2 3/4. So I like to go on here and I could get out my other trimmer, seriously. But I'm going to cut a whole bunch of them though. So the first one, I want it long to go on the back. I'm going to make a full piece on the back, and that's a 5.5 inch card. So let's go to the 5.5 and just go a smidge under. So this will be the piece that goes onto our back. That's the only piece I'm going to cut differently. It's just going to be a long piece instead of two short pieces. You could do 2 short pieces. Okay, now we need our 2 3/4, but there's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3/4. I'm just going to go in a 1/16, in an 1/8, so it'll have a 1/16 reveal on each thing. 2 3/4, go under just a little. Now I have 2, and I can use whichever side I want. Same thing here. 2 3/4, back up an 1/8. 1, 2, and 1, 2, 3/4, and back up an 1/8. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. I have 1. I think I need 6. I don't know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I'll just cut them all. 1, 2 3/4, and back up. And 2 3/4, and back up 1 notch. All right. I have a bunch here. We'll see if I have enough. I don't know. We'll see. I think we will. All right, so I'm just going to, now this front one probably will end up getting glued down because I want to use the Easter basket on it. And so if I do not normally glue this down, but the Easter basket is really big, and I already have those kind of cut and ready, but that way I don't accidentally decorate it and then close it up, right? Okay, let's put our long piece on first. Do we want that side or that side? I think this side. So it seems wrong to cover up this really cool pattern and all the UV coating and all the stuff that they went to such lengths to do, but here I am. There's one. And then I want the cool decorative side to show. So I'm going to put it on the front. So what I did, one more time, I took 2-inch strips of patterned paper, and each of these are 2 3/4. So I just cut it down a 1/16 of an inch smaller. The main thing when you decorate this is that you get your pattern right side up if it's directional, Like it'd be really easy to make your flowers upside down by accident, right? And I'm just, see how it just has a little tiny bit of reveal around each edge. And I like that because it makes it, I don't know, I like how it looks. Now this is going to have the Easter basket on the front, and I think I'm going to use the more plain Jane paper down there. I could even, it hardly will show, so I could even use nothing or a solid piece of cardstock, right? And then I have 2 more pieces, one on each side. I think I'm going to continue with the plaid all around. I just like how it looks. It seems a shame to cover up that really cool paper though, doesn't it? The main thing, like I said, is to turn it around and make sure whatever pattern you're using is the right direction. Like you don't want everything upside down. It's such a bummer. I mean, you can always fix it, but you really don't want to have to. All right, so there's the card. I have these 2 pieces left, not bad. And I have all that paper left to play with, right? Isn't that cute? All right, so now I need to decorate. I want to put, like on this card, I want to put a basket on the front, and then I want to put something in here, whether that, I don't know what yet, but here's what I did. Okay. Yes, I did some pre-die cutting so that you didn't have to watch me die cut. This is the basket texture paper. I bought like 3 packs of it because I love it so much, and I thought that this would be a really great idea, and I had it in mind when I saw that basket, and then I saw one of the demonstrators online doing it, and she used several different Easter baskets, different patterns, and I was like, yep, that's the ticket right there. And I had I had this pattern left. See how it makes it look like Tweety or something? And then I had, of course, the wicker look. And so I just cut a whole bunch of them out of that. And then I was playing around with the strips. So that one die makes all your strips for you, and it makes a lot of strips. Can you see that? It really is. Christy, it's perfect for that. And you don't have to use it, but I mean, you could just make it a plain basket, and there's nothing wrong with that. The cool thing about the dies are that, okay, this is the basket, there's a bow, these are the little strips that you put into the basket design, like here, these little strips of color. And then there's Easter grass, which I can tell you that I love having a die that has grass because I'm going to use it on everything. And then this is like a little ruffle that goes on the top of the basket. There's a chick, 2 bunnies, a chocolate bunny, what I call a chocolate bunny anyway, and an Easter egg, along with florals and a carrot. So we have a lot of options there, and I just cut because I didn't know exactly what I wanted in my basket. And like this one, I'm going to use it on our second card. I see how I made that one bunny look like a little chocolate bunny. And then I tried to use a gel pen to make it look shiny. I'm not sure I accomplished that, but you know how those chocolate bunnies are a little shiny? That's my plan. I don't know. I'm not sure that glossy accents wouldn't have worked better. I'm not sure. And then the eggs I just colored, and I did 2 colors of grass. How cute is that? Now the other thing that you can do is you could put a bow on it. Sorry, I've got stuff digging around here. So I could put a bow at the top or a bow off to the side. It has these little ruffles, which is really cute, that can go on your basket like that. How adorable. I think that's adorable. And here's my thing. Die cutting is fun, but to make it look special, you kind of need to use ink or something. So these, when I did the virtual card retreat, I had a lot of this 2-tone paper left in pink and peach. And so I just cut a bunch of bunnies out of it because I didn't think I would use it for anything else. They were like strips. It was perfect. But see, even these bunnies, they need help. Like they're too plain the way they are. And then I cut a few out of white. And then, okay, do you see his little fluffy tail? All right. This, I noticed this hit the last chance. This is that, what's it called? Fluffy trim. It's fluffy, it's fuzzy, and it's fun. And I was like, well, that would make a cute bunny tail. So yes, I fussy cut just a little tiny oval and I put it on his tail. Gosh, he's cute. I just think that's really adorable. Yeah, so I don't know. I have old style flocking that I've used before. I don't know. You could use anything. So I was thinking we need a bunny. Is this peach bunny gonna work? Do I need it to be the white bunny? It's so adorable. But I like this bunny. And so here's what I'm going to do to prep this. I've got a bunch of markers here. I'm not going to do anything too crazy. This is my tri-blends. This is coral. And I just want to give him some pink ears, a pink nose, and I'm going to use the lightest color and give him some cheeks. I just think that looks really good. The other thing that I think really makes a difference is using like gel pen to like give him a little bit of, I don't know, highlight. Because I don't know, it just like, it needs to look dimensional somehow. I do think that helps when you're die cutting to add just a few details to make your bunny look more real. If I really wanted to go too crazy, I would take that same marker in the light color and I would do like, you know, shadows anywhere 2 lines come together. Basically, like there would be like a little shadow under the neck. And it would make him look a little more dimensional. See that? So you can get as detailed or as crazy as you want to be, and I think it's worth the time. But I'm sure that you guys are like, oh my gosh, no, no, no. Okay, so I need to decide. I know I want a basket, and I want my basket to have this green color in it. And I already did some with some stripes, but I want to show you one of the things that I did with my basket before I put, I really think this helps a lot is to take a marker or some ink and shade it around the edges, because it will really help to give it a little dimension. Let me grab a color. I don't know what color I want to use. A little gray, a little, this is crumb cake, a dauber. And basically, by going around the edge, you could use your blending brush. I'm just wanting to stay, my space is so small today. I don't know why. I feel like every time I look up, my space is smaller and smaller that I'm working in. All right. I really think that adding a little shading onto your basket makes it look more dimensional. You can also use a marker. Let me see what I got. I got red brown, and I'll just use the light color. I have no idea if this will look good with this or not. We'll just wing it. But going around the edges of the handle, it makes it look more rounded, and I'm going to darken it up so that you can really see it on camera what I'm doing. I usually use just the lighter color, but just so you can see. I'm not being careful, and there we go. I'm just trying to make my basket look a little more dimensional and less flat. And then you take your strips and you put them through, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth through the slits of the basket. It doesn't take very long, but it's fussy work, right? It's fussy. So I have a lot of this green color, but I also have some of that orange or blue. So I can go into here and pick another color. I think I could do orange or pink or whatever. Maybe I'll do pink. I'm grabbing pink out of my basket. Now it cuts 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. It cuts like 9 strips or something. There is no way you could get that in here. It is too hard to go back and forth with these strips to be able to do that. And I had to practice a little or something. I don't know. It wasn't just as smooth as I thought it would be. I had to like mess around with the paper to get my strips to slide in the way I wanted to. And then I was like, gosh, I don't want to glue all these in place. I'm way lazy. So I'm going to put these strips where I want them. I think I want them like this. And I'm only going to put a dot of glue on the ones on top, like there and here. I'm not going to worry about that pink one because they're pretty sturdy in there. I got to be honest. I don't think they're going to move around much. But when I glue it on the back, I'll be able to glue over it and it won't wiggle, right? So this, by making the few baskets I've made, I've learned you don't have to work so hard. the first few I made, I worked so hard. And I was like, no way. I'm too lazy. I'm too lazy. All right. Now I do want some Easter grass inside. So I'm just going to put a strip of glue there and put it inside like that. And I tried messing around with making the grass in the, like putting some grass in the back also, and putting something in between. Like if I put the bunny in there and then put the grass, it just didn't show. It's not worth the effort. So if you're going to do two kinds of grass, here is where you do it right now. And I do like how that looks. It's kind of a cool layer. So I'm going to put some glue across there and put my grass there. Isn't that cute? Now, I really love the little chick in the basket. And so to me, the chick is too cute for words. I'm going to take, these are lemon lolly, and I have the light and the dark. One of the things about the tri-blends that I have is I feel like the one color that they lack in is yellow. I don't love the yellows for some reason. So I did buy the alcohol markers, some of the alcohol markers from Stampin' Up. I really do like them, but they're bold. Isn't he cute? Ah, look at the little guy. Okay, and then I have orange just to do his beak. And then I'm going to get out that same coral. This is just coral. And I'm going to give him some cheeks also. And I want him definitely in the basket. I think I colored a carrot earlier. I think I want a carrot in the basket. I think I want a chocolate bunny. Now I cut some of the bunnies pink and some white. Do you remember how they used to have white chocolate bunnies? I was trying to make it look like a white chocolate bunny. It is very hard to make that look like a white chocolate bunny. But I did it. I cut it out of vanilla, and I'm hoping for the best there. So here we go. I'm going to put the little rabbit in here, and I kind of want his ears sticking out so that he's poking out of the basket like that. And then I think I need a couple of eggs. Sorry, you're gonna watch me color some more. I have all the colors in here, so I can use any of the colors to make these eggs, and they're not gonna show a ton anyway. So how about I use the balmy blue. I'll just make both eggs the same. Now to make, I'm going to show you a trick. I like the orange, but it's so orange that I'm going to use coral to do some of the stripes. It almost looks pink, but I really like how that looks. And then I think I want some of the green. This is jade green. And what color do I want in there? I think I'm going to add just a little bit of purple. This is a purple blend. It might be too much, but it's the one color that I thought, oh, this set should have a purple in it. And so when I pulled out my cardstock to coordinate with everything, the perfect purple was Highland Heather. In case you are a purple fan, I'm not really, but that purple looked so good with these papers. See that? It looks really good with all the stripey paper, and Okay, to make this egg look more dimensional, I usually take gray and go all the way around it. Gray works. If you have a light blue, sometimes that'll work. And basically what I'm doing is I'm outlining the egg to give it like a shadow. Gray works great. You could shadow each color, you know, depends on how crazy you want to get. All right, let's put some eggs in this basket. So I'm just gonna put some glue, put an egg there. Like I said, it's not gonna show that much. Put an egg there. I think I'm gonna put the carrot in the back. Maybe it'll poke out in front like that. And then my little chick is going to be the star of the show. And I'm only gonna be able to glue his feet because he's not gonna be very deep in the grass because I really want him to show. And then I wanna I think I wanna use one of the little banners, which I think is super cute. If I do the white, it makes the bunny look even more like a white chocolate bunny. If I use the pink, I don't know if that gives the same effect or not, but I'm gonna do white. All right, now I could shade this just a little bit, like around the edges, but I really want that white to pop. Look how cute. You know, seriously, this could be like, this could be a card all in itself. It's so, so sweet. I want to add some shade to this. I think I might take, this is that coral. I may be sorry, but I'm just gonna kind of go around the lines that are pre-cut. Those are like embossed lines. And then I'm gonna shade around here. I don't want the whole thing pink, but I don't want it to look static. I don't want it to look flat. So that's how it's gonna look. I could use foam, but this box is already pretty deep. Like you wouldn't want to just mail this, you know, I mean, this is a lot of layers. We've got, you know, the back of the box, the front of the box, the flap of the box, this flap of the box, the papers that are on. So, I mean, you know, at some point you got a pretty fat card. So you want to be careful if you're going to mail. Hi, Nancy. Gosh, everybody, I'm so glad. I love when you say hello. All right, now here's the thing. Let's flatten the box. This is how it'll be coming out of the envelope. And I want this on the front, but I want it to fit in the envelope. If I center this basket on the front of the card, I'm gonna have to find a fatter envelope because see how much it overhangs, right? And there's the back of the basket. See, I could have used that side. So I am only going to adhere it off to the side a little bit like that. Okay. And that means I don't want any adhesive where my finger is. I'm putting my thumb where I don't want adhesive. And then I'm just gonna dot glue on here. And I want to make sure I get it on that pink one, especially since I didn't glue it down in any way. And there. Okay. Now, I did not glue the handle. That handle, I'm just looking at this, making sure I don't have too much overhang on my glue over here. That's another reason to have liquid glue. It's nice to be able to wipe it off if you get too much. But there's my card. It's going to pop open like this. There's the front. Oh my goodness, it's so sweet. Here's what I'm missing. I'm missing an off-white color. Like, my lightest tan is not light enough to shadow this without it looking brown. I need something super duper light. If you guys think about that for me. Okay, so I want, when the card is first opened, it's coming out of the envelope like this. I want a message or something there. And so I did cut some I have all these strips in my scrap bin. And so I just stamp a bunch of messages on them. And this will be too wide, so I'm going to have to cut it in half. And on the other one, I trimmed it diagonal like this. And to make my diagonals the same, this is what I do. Okay, and then I've got the Happy Easter, so I can put that on there. All right. That is so adorable. And I could even put, you know, a little bunch of flowers there or some, you know what I mean? Like, I could doctor it up even more somehow. It is really cute. Now, in here, I definitely want this bunny for sure. And in my other card, if you look, I cut his arm so that he could hold a carrot. You don't have to go to that fussy mess, but I wanted to show you like how to do it if you decide that you want him holding something. So let me really fast color my carrot. I'm just gonna do a dark side and a few stripes, and then I'll go to the light side and color it in. This is coral, not orange. And then I'm just going to use my jade to do that. Okay, so let's just say I want this bunny to hold something. I am going to cut directly on the image right next to his arm. You don't want to leave gap. And then you can tuck something into his arm like that. See? Isn't that cute? And it looks, and he really does look like he's holding it. So, I'm just gonna put some glue on there. I'm gonna go ahead and just have him hold a carrot. I could have put an egg there. I like that. I think I need more grass in there. So here's a weird thing about cutting this Easter grass. This is a tip. But I just had like a long strip of paper where I would cut a piece of grass, and then the next piece I would cut this way. And then what I did was I chopped it straight between them. And so I have the actual die cut grass, and then I have these funky looking ones. See how they're different shapes? It's because it's this part of the die cut. You can kind of see. And then, so I used the negative also to give me more differentiation of the grass. It's a little much, I know, but okay. I'm going to put this on the front. Oh, it's too long. Can only be 2 inches long. I'm going to put some grass here. Gotta make sure it fits. Put some grass here. Right? It's so cute. It's like super adorable. I think I'm even gonna put some back here. I don't think I need it, but it looks good. Right? It's like making a diorama or something, you know? All right, so I'm gonna put the bunny, I'm gonna put glue on his front because I want him hanging out here with this carrot. The other thing you want to keep doing is closing your card, opening your card. Every time you add something, make sure nothing gets hitched up, like if it needs scooched over a little or something, right? I think that's super cute. I think we could add, like, you could add more than one rabbit. You could add a chocolate rabbit. You could add some flowers, which I think I'm going to do. I love the flowers. So let's make one of them blue. And then I'm going to use the darker color, and I'm just going to do the center a little bit. You're like, Connie, you're not being very careful. Nope, you're right. I am. All I know is this is a card. Even if people keep it forever, they're not going to look at it and go, oh my gosh, did you see how badly she colored that card? No, nobody's going to do that. What do you think so far? Do you love it? I think it's adorable. Okay, so I have a couple of different flowers. I can put them different ways. I can put another Easter egg back there. This is a lot of fussy. I have another card I want to show you. I need to finish this. So let me just finish this up so that we can move on, right? I want to finish this up. Okay. All right. So I have an egg. I'll put an egg back here. I want it to show, but it's got to have something to glue onto. I have flowers. I think I'm going to put some flowers in the background too. I need to tuck them a little bit behind the grass. And then the last thing I have this Easter's on its way, and I'm just going to glue it across the back. Now, this is my trick so that I'm not trying to figure out how big to make it and blah, blah, blah. I'm just going to put glue like this across the whole thing. I know, it's a messy thing. You see where the glue is? And then I'm going to tuck my message in and center it the way I want it. I want it wonky, diagonal, somewhat centered. And then I can flip it over and trim off the excess, and it'll be perfect. It would help if I was a lefty right now. Okay. Cute. Ta-da. What do you think? Isn't that fun? What a fun card, right? Wouldn't you love to get this? It's awesome. So, and then they just fold up and go into their envelopes. And they open and they have a display for Easter. I love it. I know this is really futzy, but I feel like since I put pink on there, I need to put a little pink on here too. I know you were thinking it. You guys were like, Connie, that white is too stark. You need to do that. I know you were thinking it. Okay, there we go. There's that one. One card down, and you're like, oh my gosh, aren't you done yet? It's been an hour. I have one other that I just want to show you. Super simple, much faster. Okay. So you remember the other day I used that, gosh, why can I never remember the name of this paper pack? Sparkles and Splash, Splash and Sparkle, a splash of sparkle. It's something like that, you guys. And it's got like really fun patterns. And so I just made a whole batch of these Z-fold style cards. And I thought it would be really fun just to make an Easter basket card, an Easter card. So I already have the card base. I showed you how to make it last week. And I already, look, made the basic basket. Okay? I mean, it's not exactly perfect, but it's pretty close. So I did not shade this one, and I do believe it needs shaded. So here I am with my, this is red-brown blend, and I am just going to go around the edges again. Now you could totally use your blending brushes and ink to put just a little bit of shading on this. And you wouldn't have to use such a dark color that I'm using. I'm kind of doing that so you can see it. I'm gonna put a thing on it across the top so I don't have to worry about that. Like I said, this will go faster, I promise. Okay, and then I need something for across the top. Let's do this one in pink. Like that. I'm going to put this on here. Now this is another fat card. So if you're mailing it, you wouldn't want to use foam dots, but I'm dying to use foam dots, but I won't, in case I mail it. And again, I did not glue these strips in place. So see how I'm putting, glue on the little stripes as well as the basket itself. And that's important so your strips don't fly out. And if you haven't one, like this one is sticking up just a little, I'll just put a dot of glue there and hold that down. There we go. Ta-da. And I think I'm gonna put the bow at the top of this one. This one is screaming, shade me. Put some shadows on there. And then I have all this grass. I have a lot of grass that I cut, and I thought it would be really cute across the bottom of this card. Right? Let's see. I was like, what happened to that other piece I cut off? I think I got rid of it. The one that was like too long on the other card. And I'm just gonna keep on going with the grass. I like the grass on here. I have a lot of pieces cut for sure. I think this one I'm just gonna cut that one a little short. Okay, now I have that cute bunny that I made with the tail. And you can see I just shaded coral ears, cheeks, nose, and put the bunny tail on. And I can put him, he's gonna show, I like him here. I also like him here. Any preference? Up at the top on the banner? It doesn't matter where I put him. He's cute. I like how he looks in the grass. I was looking for my other white ones, but I think I'm going to put him here so he shows. In the grass. I just now did it. Hold on a minute. I'm going to move him up. I'm going to put grass under him. So it looks a little weird. It'll be a little weird. I'll fix it. It'll be fine. And then I think I want to put a bunch of the Easter eggs here and there on the grass. Now, here's one thing that I wish, if I had to make a wish, I would say, can you give me more than one oval die? I would love to have been able to cut out a whole bunch of carrots, a whole bunch of eggs, you know what I mean? Like, it would have been really nice to be able to, like, I don't know, do more. All right, all of a sudden my glue went wonk. I just stick a pin in and clean that out. I don't know why it does that. It doesn't do it very often. As a matter of fact, a lot of times I leave my glue sitting open overnight. And these glue bottles, as long as you sit them on their sides, like this on the table, it's very rare that they clog up. Okay, I think I'm gonna do my Happy Easter again. I'll do it here. Yeah, Heather, I wondered where you were because we were just talking. And then it was like, where'd she go? That was funny. And I really love this Easter's on its way as my message. Now, I could just get the stamp out and stamp directly on here and then save this for a different card, but just for time's sake, I think I'm going to put it here. And Do I want more grass on there? Nope, I don't. But I like that. So I'm just going to keep adding until daughters do that. All right, so the only thing I have left to do on this card is color the eggs and the flowers, and then that one's done. So there we go. There is our 2 cards today. We have this one, which I'm going to make several of, so that I can send those to the elderly. I have a whole bunch of baskets here. I'll probably just sit and make baskets the rest for an hour or so, and then I'll put the cards together later. And then these, of course, are done. They're beautiful. They're fun. And I'm happy to have another pop-up card to display other than Christmas and sharks. That's the only other time. Oh, I made a superhero card like this. Hold on just a second. It's right here. So a long time ago when Stephanie was going through chemo, I made her one of these cards, and it said, see that superhero, and it says girl power, the real superheroes of the world, faith, this, and see, I sent her this so long ago, and so these cards have been around for a while. And what's interesting is when they packed up her craft room and sent this to me, they told me this was on display. And so they sent it back to me so that I would have it to remember her. I was like, oh my God, that is so amazing. So I keep it out all the time. I absolutely love this. And when I look at it, I think of her. And see, on this one, I scalloped the bottoms. So you can do a lot of different things with these little box cards like this. And they are flat and they will go through the mail. Just remember how fat they are. They may take a little extra. Okay, that's what I have today. I hope you watch Friday because I have a fun card Friday too. Okay, bye-bye guys.